In this series I'll be showing you how to crochet these two frogs, the dancing and diving frog, the lily pads and lilies. For the diving frog you'll need green cotton or wool for the body, pink or red for the mouth, and very fine white and black for the eyes, though you could use tiny felt circles for the eyes if you'd prefer. Now for the head we start with a magic loop. It's as if we're doing a chain, but we pull it loose instead of pulling it tight. And we'll work 3 chain and then 14 double crochet into the loop. A double crochet is yarn around, we go into our circle, grab hold of a loop, yarn around through 2, yarn around through 2. So we need 14 double crochet. Then we take hold of the tail and pull it as tight as we can. And then slip stitch into the 3rd chain. For row 2 we start with 2 chain and we work 1 half double crochet in the same spot. A half double crochet is yarn round, go in, pull up a loop, yarn around and through all our loops. Now we're going to work 2 treble into the next stitch. A treble is yarn round twice into the stitch and get a loop. Yarn round through 2, yarn round through 2, yarn round through 2. We'll do another one into the same spot. Now we'll work 1 half double crochet into the next stitch, and then into the next stitch we'll work 2 treble. Now we work 2 half double crochet into the following stitch, and then into the next stitch we're going to work 2 double crochet. The double crochet is yarn around into the stitch and pick up a loop, yarn around through 2, yarn around through 2. So 2 of them into the next stitch, and then we're going to work 2 treble into the following stitch. Next 2 double crochet into the next stitch. Now 2 half double crochet, now we're going to do single crochet until we've got 4 stitches left. A single crochet is into the stitch, pull through a loop, yarn around through 2. So I worked 2 of them and I've got 4 left. So next I work 2 half double crochet 2 double crochet, 2 treble, and 2 double crochet, and then we slip stitch into the second chain, and there's our frog's head. We've got our cheeks and the eyes will go up into there. I'll fasten that off. And I'm going to do the little part for on the face. I'll use the same colour as the face and I'll make a magic loop. I'll start with 3 chain and I'm going to work a join double crochet. So I put my yarn around the hook into the circle and pick up a loop. Yarn around and take off 2. Then I put my yarn around into the circle and pick up another loop. Yarn around, take off 2 and yarn around, and I've got 3 left. I'll go through all 3 and then I work 3 chain and I slip stitch into the circle, and then I work a single crochet, 3 chain, a join double crochet, chain, a slip stitch into the loop, another single crochet, and then I pull the circle tight and I slip stitch just down the bottom in that first chain there. And then fasten off. So I've got, it's like a little rectangle. Now I'm going to make the mouth. I'm going to use pink today, but you could use red. I'm going to make a magic loop and work 3 chain, and now I'm going to do a 3 double crochet cluster. So yarn around, pick up a loop in the circle, yarn around through 2, yarn around into the circle and pick up another loop, yarn around and through 2. And I've now got 3 loops left on my hook. Then I go yarn around into the circle and pick up another loop, yarn around through 2, and I've got 4 loops left, and I'll go yarn around and through all 4 and then pull tight, and that's the little mouth. I'll finish it off. For the eyes I'm going to use fine cotton, but you could use little felt circles. It would work just the same. Now I've got number 100 crochet cotton and a fine crochet hook. I'm going to make a magic circle and work 4 chain. Now I'm going to do a 4 treble cluster. So I put my yarn around twice, and pick up a loop in the circle, yarn around, take off 2 and yarn around, take off 2. I've got 2 left, so yarn around twice again into the circle and pick up another loop, yarn around through 2 and yarn around through 2. I've now got 3 loops left, so I'll put it around twice again, in, pick up another one and yarn around twice through 2, yarn around through 2, and then I do one more of those. And then yarn around and go through all, and then pull it tight, and I've got a little eye. That's the outer eye. I probably should have left enough yarn to stitch it on. For the inner eye, I've just got black sewing thread, and I'm going to make a magic circle and work 3 chain, and I'm going to work 8 double crochet into the loop. And then I pull the loop tight and join with a slip stitch. And I've got a tiny little circle. I'll leave a bit of a tail to use to stitch it on. Now I'll make some more eyes and weave in my endings, and then I'll be back and show you how to put the head together. Now here's all our pieces. The first thing we do is we stitch our mouth on. The mouth's got a little flat section at the top and then a pointy bit just at the bottom. The pointy bit goes down just above the bottom. We've got the 2 eye pieces and the cheeks, and so the mouth goes just in there. So I'll stitch that on. Next, our little face part goes on top of the mouth, but we need space for the eyes at the top. So we need the mouth peeking down and space for the eye. So about there looks good, so I'll stitch that on. Now next we're going to stitch the eyes on. We start with the whites of the eyes, and you position them just above the face part in that circle, little circle thing, and you can kind of squash them down a little bit to stitch them in. I stitch it as close as I can into the face piece. I push it in and stitch. And then for this side I'd kind of push it across a bit to stitch in. You could always use little felt parts pieces for the eyes. That's the white. And the black bit just goes on top, down towards the bottom. So I'll push it in there and stitch it in. There. So I'll put the other two eyes on and I'll come back and show you how to outline the tongue, the mouth. Now I'm just going to outline the mouth like this one. I start at this corner here and just stitch along the top of the face part. Just a few stitches across there, and then I'll go down and round the mouth. I'll just put another stitch along there just so it stands out a bit more. And that's your frog's head done. For the body, we start with a magic loop and work 3 chain into the loop. And then we work 14 double crochet into the circle. Then we pull our circle tight and slip stitch in the third chain. For row 2 we work 3 chain, a double crochet in the same spot as our chain, and then we work 2 double crochet in each stitch around. So I'll do that and I'll be back. At the end of the row we slip stitch into the third chain, and that's our body done. So we'll fasten it off. Now for the legs, I'm going to start with this leg here. So you join wherever you like. And start with 22 chain. Now into the fourth chain we do a single crochet and then a slip stitch into the following chain and another single crochet in the next one. That's our first toe. Then we work 5 chain, single crochet in the fourth chain from the hook, slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we're going to slip stitch into the side of this single crochet from the previous toe. We've got 2 toes, we'll work another one, so 5 chain, single crochet into the fourth chain, slip stitch into the next stitch, and a slip stitch into the side where we did our last slip stitch from the previous toe. Now we're going to work the foot, so we work 1 double crochet into each of the next 3 stitches. And then a slip stitch into the same chain as the last double crochet. Now we're going to work 3 single crochet and 2 half double crochet. Now to make the bend, the knee, we're going to work 1 join double crochet over the next 4 stitches. So we put our yarn around into the next stitch, pick up a loop, yarn around and through 2, and then yarn around and into the following stitch, second stitch, pick up a loop, yarn around through 2, then our yarn around into the third stitch, pick up a loop, yarn round through 2, then a yarn round and into the fourth stitch and pick up a loop, yarn around and through 2, And we've got 5 stitches on. We put our yarn round and pull through all stitches. And now we're going to work double crochet over the rest of our chain. I keep it fairly tight, that stitch, so that I've got a bend on the knee. You've got your knee like that. And then we slip stitch into the body. And there's your first leg. For our second leg, we'll start in here. We'll have miss 1, join, and then we'll work 21 chain, Our toes and feet will be worked the same as our first leg, so into the 4th chain we'll work a single crochet, then a slip stitch and a single crochet, and 5 chain, and into the 4th chain we'll work a single crochet, then a slip stitch, and then slip stitch into the side of the single crochet, and then 5 more chain, to the 4th chain. From the hook we work a single crochet, a slip stitch into the next stitch, and then a slip stitch into the same space as that other slip stitch. Now for the foot we'll work 3 double crochet, and then a slip stitch into the same spot as the last double crochet. Now we're going to work 3 single crochet, two half double crochet, and we're now going to work 5 double crochet into the next stitch, and that will give the bend for the knee. It will make it bend the other way. And now we double crochet over the remaining chain. and then slip stitch into the body. When our legs are ironed, they'll stick out a bit. I like to put the feet going back a bit, iron them back. Next we'll start on the arms. Our head will go on there, and we attach our arms just under where the head will be, probably about here. In there. So if you just try on your head and make sure that it will sit, your arms will come out from under your head. We attach our arms, our thread, and we'll do 15 chain. Our fingers are made the same way as our toes, so we do a single crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, and then a slip stitch, and then a single crochet in the next, then 5 chain, single crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, a slip stitch in the next stitch, and then a slip stitch in the side of the single crochet from the previous finger, and then 5 chain, single crochet into the 4th chain from the hook, a slip stitch in the next stitch, and then a slip stitch in the same place as the slip stitch at the bottom of the fingers. Now we just single crochet down to the body. Slip stitch into the body and then fasten off. And then we'll join our thread on the other side. And make our other arm. This arm is made the same as the last arm, so 15 chain, a single crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, a slip stitch, and a single crochet, and 5 chain, a single crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, slip stitch in the next stitch and a slip stitch in the side of the single crochet at the bottom of the other finger, 5 chain, single crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, a slip stitch and then a slip stitch in the side there again, and then single crochet down to the body and slip stitch into the body. So I'll do that and finish off my endings, and then we'll put the head on. Now I've weaved in my endings and given my frog a quick iron. Now I attach the head with the just under the circle in the middle, just on like that. I'll just sew around the edge there and turn it over and attach it across there, across there. So I'll do that and I'll come back. Now there's the diving frog finished. If you like my videos, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.